this morning, we were getting some stinging from the anemones, so we had to move some coral away from those anemones. And then a couple of the monkeys looked like they were either getting bacterial infections and white spots, which are either light or bacterial infections or pests. We saw some things that we didn't like, so this is not that routine. So we're gonna do some cleanup and the balance of what needs to be done. Look at all the space you have here now.
That's a hard place to reach, but yeah.
See that space?
Yep.
Maybe this piece is small enough to go there. Now, the long way.
Maybe, but then I would like to take a lot of this out. Or something. I don't know.
Okay, fine.
You know what I mean? I can put this one maybe a little higher and then that one right here.
Correct.
So this one is not, we'll see. I will have to check in there.
Okay.
And then, well, I think first I'm gonna take this one out.
I agree.
See how it even
See what
goes.
it is. Yeah.
Then I maybe take this out as well because I know I'm gonna look at this.
Yeah, I agree. And then that one can go
And
down.
then this
Can go
one,
down.
yes, down here.
Yeah.
Or down here.
Correct.
And I
You
will
take the
this
copper.
one.
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree.
After discovering the white spots, the team had to take action quickly. To avoid a potential outbreak, Patty will have to dive into the tank to further investigate what's causing the issue. It's always safety first. Polo Reef only allows those scuba certified to dive into the tank. Even though it's shallow, being on scuba can always be dangerous. After conducting a pre-dive check, she heads into the water. Patty wears a weighted vest to stay in place while she works. Once situated, she takes a breath off the regulator. This is to make sure that everything is okay before proceeding on to her mission. Dunn is right above her as a safety, just in case anything goes wrong. Unfortunately, there seemed to be more infected coral than what was initially thought. She will need to delicately remove the infected corals for inspection, one by one. This can get tricky. Each of the coral has a neighbor that could potentially break if she moves the wrong way. There's a lot of coral in the 17,000 gallon tank. It becomes a delicate dance when Patty has to tiptoe around to avoid breaking or even stepping on coral.
She's just giving you a lot of shit. Yeah.
With her hands full of living coral, Patty realized quickly the urgency of rescuing these sick colonies. She knew that they needed treatment right away, and Polo Lab was the perfect place to get them inspected. She moved quickly but carefully to get the coral handed off to Dunn and into triage.
You can leave that there, I'll grab it.
Okay.
Dunn was ready to grab the infected coral from Patty. He quickly brought them into the lab to be investigated by Jonathan. The team acts fast to determine the issues and find a solution.
This one's loaded with nudies. I don't see any eggs though, which is weird. But with white specks, like right there, is the problem.
Dunn double checks the infested corals one by one. He He is looking for eggs or anything else that just doesn't look right. The Polo team has been doing this for a long time, and over the years, they have developed a great eye at identifying pests that could potentially harm the coral.
She took out the rainbow and she took out the one where the effluent was. But that effluent is not getting enough light anyway. I don't know how damaged it is, but
Maybe that effluent can go.
exactly.
Yeah, okay. The coral has this white spot where it's something's killing it, whether it's bacterial or parasites. We found parasites on the one that I showed you. I don't really see anything on this one, but this one looks clean. This is probably just bacterial. But we're gonna put a paste on it made with antibiotics, and hopefully, we've had some good results with it in the past, but it's still kind of new. What do you need? This is going to Patty? That's going to Patty. You give it double check. The Montipore eating nudibranchs will treat with dips and removing them manually. And then the bacterial infection will be making the paste with the amoxicillin and calcium carbonate and applying it to the infected area. To minimize a lot of the risk, we remove these sick corals and treat them in our quarantine tanks back here so that there is minimal risk to the display tank, and observe for other infections or possible problems in neighboring corals.
Patty's check out some coral that we don't know whether there are pests or that's light bleached. Some of it is to make room for these huge anemones which are stinging corals on top. So right now, she's looking underneath to see how encrusted I guess that piece is. It's a copper, it is not coming out easily. So the first pieces we're going for are the ones that need to go out and checked first. That's the plan. Then we'll make some more room for the anemones. There we go, she's got it. Beautiful. So that piece had flatworm eggs. And that piece needs to go up and get rehabilitated. It had some pests on it. And we knew it because the piece didn't look right. It needs to come out, we need to scrape the eggs physically, and we need to keep dipping and dipping and dipping. Dipping every 3, 4, 5 days. We'll dip the coral. And as the eggs hatch, the dip kills the babies.
Alright, gotcha. It's not a lot. I am going to scrape it and then try to look for more. Right now, there's medication in this tub. This will help release the flowers to get them off. But the most important part is make sure that you eliminate the eggs.
Now that the infected corals have been pulled, Andrew needed to find replacement corals to fill the 17,000-gallon back up. In true Polo Reef fashion, he had a lot to choose from.
We're trying to find a coral that it is going to play nice with the other corals around it, and also to have a different coloration so everything is not the same color.
Right, and then that one dark spot, cover that one
Yes,
dark spot.
Exactly.
Let's try these two.
All right. One or the other.
I think both. I think one in the high spot
And one on the side.
and one down low.
The high spot, the side spot.
Where the Frankenstein was too dark.
Oh, yes. Okay. That way you, yeah. All right. I'm thinking that one for where the Frankenstein was, and then this one for the body.
Down. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
After Andrew selected the replacement colonies, it was time to head back into the water. This is where the real magic happens.
Look at this beast. She's gonna size it right here, right now. I think it's gonna be too big.
Yeah, she got straight to it though.
Yeah.
Spin. Spin the long. No, the other way. The other way. That way.
Like that.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out how to mount it.
You give her that epoxy,
Yeah.
she gotta raise the front.
The team uses underwater epoxy to secure the coral to the rockscape. It's completely safe for fish and harmless to the coral. The first one fit in nicely. It's time to place the next colony.
It's enormous.
Yeah, huge plate. You'd almost have to like move that one to the back.
It's so big that it's touching and shading the other pieces around it.
The 17,000 gallon has a lot of coral. To promote better growth, Patty has to trim back some of the branches to avoid shading the coral below it.
Surprised she needs so much epoxy and glue on that. I guess it's weighted that way, so that's no big deal. Yeah, it looks like she's gonna. This is gonna be good. That's very good light for that coral. That's perfect light. She moved the white piece over to the inside. And we have the gigantic space on the right, but I think that piece is going to be too big for that gigantic piece.
That's the big one.
Yeah. That's not good. Patty, thumbs up, spectacular. 0. There was no light there. In that crevice, there was no light. So now we'll check for bugs on the Monty.
Common name is sea spiders. They can get huge.